Yesterday, I showed you how we're going to fold our paper for our rough draft on our children's book report part 2. Essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to fold it long ways and short ways, and you're going to make it so that it looks like there's 4 boxes on the page. That's going to give you 8 pages to use for your rough draft. Your rough draft should fall between 7 and 10 pages. Don't worry about the cover on the rough draft. And if your book happens to go more than 8, you can get another piece of paper and fold it up and it'll work just fine. But here I want to show you more specifically what exactly I'm looking for on this rough draft. So to do this, I'm going to go ahead and zoom myself in a little bit here. And you can see, well, I hope you can see, that I'm on the first box. Now, you know children's books, they have to have page numbers. You're the author. You decide what you want to do. You can put it centered at the bottom. You can put it in the corner somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put mine right here, centered in the bottom. Okay. Now, my story is about Carl the cow, and if you remember back to the video that I posted previously, I said my plot's going to generally be Carl gets tired of being a dairy cow. He starts to go to different farms along the way, and eventually he realizes that he misses what he had, something like that. So what I have to do is that my rough draft is allowed to be very basic drawings. It's more so that I'm worried about where on the page my things are going to go and play with it a little bit. So I might say, okay, I'm going to put my words across the top. So here's my words across the top. And then I might go to draw my cow and say, oh, I don't know, that doesn't seem to really work too well. So I play with it a little bit. It's a rough draft. It's okay. So I start again and I think, okay, maybe I'll start with my cow this time. But because it's a rough draft, it's okay if it's very, very basic. So I might say something like, here's the ground, and maybe I'll put some basic grass. And my cow, because I'm not going to waste any time drawing him, goes like that. And now I might, I gotta put the bell, right? Cows have bells, all right? Then I might think to myself, okay, where could my words go? Spots, right? Spots. There's Carl, isn't he great? I could maybe put my words into a paragraph form on the side. If I don't like that, I could put my words across the bottom. But either way, this is where I'm worried about the placement. Notice that my drawing is completely filling or almost completely filling this space. I don't want to have just empty white space. So then I just continue to move on. I go to my next page, my next square. Now notice, I chose to make my book up and down. You could make yours side by side. Children's books are the same, so I put my number. Now, the thing is, if I chose to put my number centered on the bottom of the first page, you want to be consistent with that. Now, the words are a different story. So now, maybe I have Carl leaving the farm, so I could draw my little barn up here in the corner. And then the hills go down, and maybe I've got Carl walking down a hill. And there goes Carl. And maybe now I decide, and in children's books, you can put words in 2 different places. Maybe I say, Carl had to leave. He was going to look for where to go. But either way, notice again that I've filled my space. I have filled my space. I don't have any wasted spots. Up here I have words. I have my farmhouse is in the corner. I have the cow walking down the hill. I have not wasted any space. Let me show you what I don't want you to do at this point, okay? So now I'll come down. Here's page 3. Put my page number. Here's what I don't want. Some words across the top. Here's the ground. Here's the barn. Here's Carl. And then, okay, so my whole story's down here. Now I'll just draw some clouds. Look, I filled the page. Isn't it great? Or maybe take some blue. And look, I shaded in the sky. That's a waste of space. Unless your story is specifically dealing with the sky, all of this middle section here is wasted space. Don't do that. Okay? So the next step in the process, you're going to work on creating a rough draft where you're going to sketch out what your pages are going to look like. Once you get through page 4, flip the paper over and 5 through 8 go on the back. If you need to go beyond that, whatever you need to do. Any questions? Just ask.